Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Deluxe Class Autobot Minerva from the Transformers Legacy line from Hasbro. So in the US this figure is a Walgreens exclusive, but luckily I was able to get one on Hasbro Pulse. They put some up on their website last week after the 10/27 presentation, and I was able to grab one there. There was really no warning. They didn't announce that it was going to happen. Just when all the other pre-orders went up, it was just in stock along with a couple other figures. So very random, but I was able to get one. Very excited because I really have no Walgreens near me whatsoever. So whenever they have Walgreens exclusives, I have to cross my fingers that I'll be able to get one on Hasbro Pulse, and I lucked out this time. Now, if you're not familiar with the character of Minerva, she is kind of the counterpart in Japan to our Nightbeat. So Minerva was on the Japanese exclusive series Transformers Masterforce, which if you guys know me at all is like my all-time favorite piece of Transformers fiction. So when they announced this, I was very excited that we were finally getting a figure for Minerva. I believe this is a first for a normal US retail line. There's been so many third-party figures, but I think this is the first time that Hasbro has ever made a Minerva figure. So basically what happened is this was the character in Japan. It was a female kind of ambulance type vehicle, first aid vehicle, and then when they brought her over here to the US, they made it a boy. They changed the color scheme to yellow and blue and called it Nightbeat, which is actually, Nightbeat was one of the first Transformers I ever had as a kid. Not the first, but one of the first couple, so I definitely liked that toy a lot. And if you know anything about Nightbeat, and of course Minerva, the original toy, was a Headmaster Jr., and unfortunately this figure here is not a Headmaster, which I'm trying to let go, but I'm still a little bummed about. Finally getting a Minerva figure, and she's not even a Headmaster. I understand why, you know, it would have been too difficult to kind of make the figure a Headmaster and then have somewhere for the smaller figure to ride around in the car mode, so I get it logistically, but I'm still a little disappointed about it. This is using the same mold as Elita 1, which I took a look at about a week ago at this point. So if you want to check out that review, I'll put it at the end of this video. But yeah, so here is the Legacy packaging. We have the cutout window here. We have the vehicle mode here, which is white, but almost kind of looks pink with the way that they've shaded this. And then you have some really cool artwork of Minerva over here on this side. And then over here we have that standard Autobot group shot picture that they always put on the sides for Autobots. Not really much going on the bottom or the top here. We have this kind of giant flap, which I feel like these are usually clear, but whatever. And then spinning it around to the back, we have the robot mode and the vehicle mode. And I'll do a comparison with Elita 1 as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead, let's get her out of the box, and we'll take a closer look. Here she is out of the packaging. I think she looks really good. I like the robot mode. I think they did a really nice job with it. You have these pieces up here to kind of simulate those pieces that used to be attached to the arm with the original toy. The head sculpt looks really good. Really nice paint applications there. I feel like it looks like it jumped exactly out of the anime. Really nice job. The eyes are really nice blue, really nice orange there for the face. I think all the paint applications here on the chest and the crotch look really good. Really nice blue there, which really pops. All in all, I think the figure looks pretty good, and it does look like Minerva, so I'm pleased with that. Of course, I am bummed that she's not a Headmaster, but again, I get it. I'm just still a little bummed by it. Articulation-wise, pretty much exactly the same as Elita 1. So you have a ball joint here for the head. You can look side to side. You get the tiniest little bit of head tilt side to side. She can not really look up that much. She can look down a little bit. You have a hinge here and a rotation in the shoulder. You have a bicep swivel. You have a little over 90 degrees there in the elbow. You do have a wrist swivel. You have a waist swivel. Hips can kick all the way forward, about half the way back, kick pretty much all the way out to the side. You have a thigh swivel there, 90 degrees there in the knee. You have to be a little careful because of the way that these hinge out for the vehicle mode. Make sure that they will get a little weird if you don't keep track of them. You do have an ankle tilt. Unfortunately, it kind of has like ratchet spots, so it's hard to put it exactly in the angle you want, but if you play with it enough, you kind of can get what you need. But all in all, I think the robot mode looks pretty good. Little bit of a backpack back here, but nothing too extreme. Doesn't hinder the waist articulation or anything like that, so that's nice. Now, she comes with 3 accessories, just like Elita 1 did. She's got the exact same 2 guns that came with Elita 1. Now, Elita 1s were done in a translucent blue plastic, One of them is done in a completely translucent clear plastic. The other one is also done in the same translucent plastic, but then painted black. I think because she had a black cannon like this on the show, so they wanted to paint one in black just to kind of match the anime. And then, you know, the mold just comes with this, so they just threw this in clear. I don't know why they didn't paint both of them black. It seems weird to do one and not the other, but maybe they only had so much budget, I guess. I'm not really sure. But she does look good with the one black gun. Like I said, it is what she had in the anime, so I think that looks pretty good. And then she has a little light bar here, which I'm just going to go ahead and pop into this spot right here for storage, and also because that's where it goes in the vehicle mode. So all in all, I think the robot mode looks good. It's nice to finally get an official Minerva figure. I just wish she was a Headmaster because the character is a Headmaster Junior, and it would have really gone a little bit further just to kind of make this figure perfect for me. But I get it. I can live without it. It does look very good. So we'll do a quick comparison here for the robot mode with Elita 1. As you can see, pretty much all of the molding is exactly the same. This is obviously just painted differently, but this is all molded the same. The chest is all completely molded the same. Obviously new head sculpts. The arms are the same. The legs, the feet, all that are the same. These pieces on the side here are the same, just painted differently. So it's like 90% the same figure. The only difference being the light bar accessory versus the weird little head pop-out accessory. The painting of the weapons and the head, I would say, really the only major differences. Now, obviously, they have completely different color schemes, but I'm talking about in terms of molding. I would say the head... Yeah, I guess really just the head is the only difference in molding, and then just different paint applications. But I'm sorry, and the different little accessory, that's the other major difference. But, you know, it looks good, it works, I get it, they want to reuse molds. I think it's more successful as Minerva, but I think it's fine as Elita 1. And like I said, if you really want to make this look a little different, you can kind of fold these back. Make sure I have enough clearance here. We'll pop this back like so. And then you can rotate this down. And that does give kind of a different look if you want to kind of make the two figures look a little bit different. I definitely like the shoulder look for Minerva because, of course, that's more reminiscent of her original toy. I kind of like all of it just on the back for Elita 1. I think that fits a little better. And it does kind of differentiate the two characters using the same mold, so I think that's pretty successful. Alright, so getting into Minerva's transformation, if you've transformed Elita 1, it is exactly the same. There's really no differences whatsoever, so I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. But basically, we're going to lift this section up and then swivel these down, and then there are these little tabs on the side that will peg in here. So we will tab that in, swivel this down, and tab that in. Then we will extend this up. We will flip this up and flip out the back section, like so. This will kind of come down. We want to rotate the biceps inward 90 degrees. This will kind of come down and sit like this. And then we will kind of lift up the forearms to peg onto these little spots right here, like so. Repeat that over here, and then we will peg this part in to the forearm, like that. And you can tell that this section is all translucent blue and then painted white, so hopefully that holds up over time. You can definitely tell that this section here is all just painted white. We need to spin the waist 180 degrees. Then we're going to flip up these little panels on the inside of the legs. Then we are going to snap the two legs together, like so. Then we're going to flip these panels out like this. This is going to come up. There's a tab here that's going to tab in right there. And then this tab right here is going to tab onto the forearm right there. So this comes up, tab those two spots in. And then do the same over on this side. Like so. And then you're pretty much done. You're just going to fold the feet to cover this back section here. And there we go. That is Minerva in vehicle mode. Let me angle the camera down a little bit. It's not bad. I like the color scheme. I really like the translucent blue here. You can see that there is a lot of empty space in there, and I feel like if they really wanted to make a little cavity for a headmaster to sit in there, they could have worked something out. I know it would have been a lot of additional engineering, but it would have been cool. Okay, I promise that's the last time I'll complain about it. I can't promise that. But it does look good. I think it looks good in white. I really appreciate the Autobot symbol there on the hood. That was something I really felt like was missing from Elita 1. Now, because Minerva's head is a little clunkier, it does kind of hang out at the bottom of the vehicle mode a little bit more, which is kind of a bummer. And then just to bring in Elita 1 for a comparison, I thought they were going to remold this a little bit. They did not. It is the exact same mold. I guess Elita 1's head does hang out at the bottom a little bit as well. But like I said, I really appreciate that Autobot symbol on the hood. I felt like that was missing over here. And I think this color translucent blue is a little bit more successful than this one. It's just a little bit more bright. And I think the light bar is infinitely more successful than whatever this is. But like I said, I guess that is a nod to the original G1 animation model, so... I still don't love the fact that this isn't kind of flush. There's that little bit of gap of space there. Not a huge problem, but I do kind of wish that that was a little bit more flush. I do like the red that kind of continues all the way on. I kind of wish that this part of the bumper was also painted red, because you can see here with Elita that white does carry across, and I think that looks a lot better like that. So that's a bit of a bummer that that's not painted red. Not a deal breaker, but I would have liked that. Otherwise, I think it works. It's reminiscent of the original Minerva / Nightbeat vehicle mode. Maybe just a little bit smooshed in. But it's definitely reminiscent, so I think it works. Now, the one nice thing is because of the light bar, you can see that they were able to mold in a peg hole on the light bar. So if you want to go ahead and put the weapon there, you still can. Which is something that Elita 1, unfortunately, cannot accomplish. You would have to take this completely off. And then you could use that for a weapon. But with Minerva, you can use both, which is pretty cool. So ultimately, I like Minerva. I think the robot mode works. It looks really nice. The paint applications are good. The head sculpt is really good. I mean, I am bummed it's not a headmaster. Okay, last time, I promise. But they did a really nice job. I mean, it really is reminiscent of the Japanese anime that it comes from. I think they did a really great job with the paint applications, the blue eyes, the orange face, the red. It's all really sharp. It looks really nice. I get that they're kind of out of the headmaster game as it is. They temporarily brought it back for, what was it, the Last Night, I think? One of the guys in the Last Night. So we know they can do it. But I get it. I mean, it will be hard to engineer this as a headmaster and then try to get a second character out of it. And so they just didn't do it. I get it. I am a little bummed, but I'll survive. Ultimately, I think the robot mode looks really good. The vehicle mode is fine. I think this mold is more successful as Minerva than as Elita 1. I think the car mode, you know, is a little bit more reminiscent of that original car mode for the G1 character, or as Nightbeat, as we saw him here. So I think that vehicle mode's a little bit more successful. I like the light bar. I think that works. I like that it has the indentation there, the peg hole, so you can still use the gun, which I think is a really nice touch. Yeah, all in all, there's not too much to complain about except the obvious, but I said I wouldn't mention it again. But I think this is a really nice figure. The hardest thing at this point is going to be finding her because she is a Walgreens exclusive. Hopefully Hasbro Pulse puts some more of these up so that everyone who wants one can get one, because I do think it's worth having. I would have kind of rather that it was the other way around, that this was the normal release and Elita 1 was the exclusive, but for whatever reason, Walgreens really likes to have medical-related exclusives. I get it, you know, it's a pharmacy, so that's why they get all the medics, but it's kind of annoying, because I wish they would just stop with Walgreens exclusives. They're hard to find. But this is a nice figure. I definitely recommend adding it to the collection, especially if you're a fan of Masterforce like me, because I believe this is the first time Hasbro has ever officially done this character, and that's really cool. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.